Charleston is frequently thought of as the grandfather of Lindy Hop. It's a dance that you can do solo and partnered, and as is the case with six count, it's much easier to do this dance partnered if you already have it in your body. So consider getting into solo jazz. If you're interested, we have a lot of videos where you can just follow along. Charleston rose to popularity in the 1923 Broadway musical Runnin Wild, which had, unusually at the time, an African-American cast. The most famous song, Charleston, was written by an African-American composer, James P. Johnson. You know the song. Down, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. But the dance's history is much older and more interesting. Charleston, South Carolina, a port city, was the capital of the slave trade, and nearly 40% of all enslaved Africans came through that port. By the mid-1800s, there were some 4 million enslaved Africans in the United States, and nearly 10% of them, or 400,000 people, lived in South Carolina. The Gullah Geechee people are descendants of the Africans who were enslaved on the rice, indigo, and Sea Island cotton plantations of the lower Atlantic coast. Many came from the rice-growing region of West Africa and Sierra Leone. The Gullah Geechee were generally outnumbered by slaves from other areas of Africa, but not in South Carolina and Georgia, and this concentration allowed them to share elements of language, custom, culture, cuisine, and dance. Here you can see a Gullah Geechee boy doing early Charleston in front of the Jenkins Orphanage Band, which has a crazy interesting history in and of itself, which we won't go into. To further connect the origin of Charleston to Africa, according to jazz dance, Charleston proved similar to a dance called the King Sailor in Trinidad and an Ebolo dance of the Igbo tribe in West Africa. And at this point, I just want to take a moment to say I'm so sorry for my pronunciation of everything. Now, of course, if you watch early footage, Charleston is most strongly associated with white flappers. Because, I mean, of course it was. Anyhow, back to the grandfather of Lindy Hop. You can really see the link between Lindy Hop and Charleston in the 1929 clip After Sieben. After 7? I'm not sure. Anyhow, the third couple, Shorty Stump and Liza Underdunk, just kidding, their real names are Shorty George Snowden and Maddie Purnell, are doing this thing called the breakaway, which is the link between front-to-front Charleston and the swing out we know and love today. Note about that clip, the announcer, James Barton, is in blackface. When you talk about Lindy Hop history, you're gonna run into some racism. Other note about that clip, the music is provided by the Savoy house band, Chick Webb and his orchestra. Now surprisingly, there is very little vintage video evidence of side-by-side Charleston, though of course we can't know what the original dancers did when they were social dancing away from the cameras. Thank you, people of Patreon, for helping to make this video free for everybody in the world, including people like you. If you want to join them, it's a voluntary subscription and the link is in the description. I hope you had fun and learned a lot, and if you did, click like and subscribe and comment and do all that YouTube algorithm stuff, and half of the money that I get from this YouTube channel goes towards organizations that support African diasporic artists and art, because Lindy Hop is a black dance, and the best way to learn how to do that dance is by doing it, y'all.